Imagine standing in a silent forest 200,000 years ago. There are no grocery stores, no nutrition labels, no Google. You are starving. In front of you is a bush with bright red berries, and right next to it, a plant with thick, earthy roots. One of them will give you the energy to survive another day. The other will cause your lungs to collapse, killing you in excruciating agony within an hour. You have no chemical testing kits. You don't even know what a toxin is. How do you choose? Every single day, you and I make choices about what to eat based on science, apps, or habit. But we rarely ask the terrifying question, how did the very first humans figure out what was safe to ingest and what was lethal? And more mind-bendingly, how did this life and death knowledge travel across an ancient, completely disconnected world with zero internet, zero phones, and massive geographic barriers? The answer isn't just a story of survival. It's the greatest decentralized science experiment in human history. And some of the rules they discovered? Modern science is only just beginning to prove them right. If you've ever wondered how we truly evolved to eat, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's unearth the forgotten database of human survival. Before humans had language, we had biochemical sensors built directly into our faces. Nature didn't leave us completely defenseless. Evolution equipped our ancestors with an innate alarm system, our taste buds. In evolutionary biology, tastes are not just flavors, they are data codes. Sweetness was the code for clean carbohydrates and fast energy. Sourness was an indicator of vitamin C or a warning sign of dangerous bacterial spoilage. But the most important sensor was bitterness. In the wild, almost every lethal plant poison relies on nitrogen-based compounds called alkaloids. And alkaloids taste incredibly bitter. When an early human bit into a toxic leaf, their brain triggered an immediate, violent rejection. We didn't learn what not to eat by reading. We learned because our bodies were hardwired to physically reject poison. But taste wasn't enough. Humans are omnivores, and we had to expand our diets to survive. This led to a behavior scientists call conditioned taste aversion. If an early human ate a new root and felt intensely sick hours later, their brain created a permanent neural pathway linking the smell and sight of that plant to danger. Essentially, our ancestors' bodies kept an internal biological checklist written in the language of nausea and survival. Okay, so a tribe in one valley figures out how to detoxify a plant. But here is the massive mystery. How did this knowledge spread across a vast spatial world? A world completely disconnected, with thousands of miles of oceans, mountains, and zero communication infrastructure. It happened through three powerful invisible networks. First, prehistoric food globalization. Long before the famous Silk Road, ancient peasant cultures were moving seeds. Recent archaeological findings show that between 5000 and 1500 BCE, crops like millet moved from China to the west, while wheat and barley moved from Southwest Asia to the east. They didn't pass this knowledge over a network. They passed it hand to hand, seed by seed, across generations of migrant farmers, pushing agricultural boundaries across massive mountain ranges. Second, ritual and myth as data storage. In a world without writing, how do you ensure your grandchildren don't eat the toxic berry? You turn the warning into a sacred ritual, a taboo, or a story. Traditional knowledge systems embedded food safety into culture. Eating a certain plant wasn't just unhealthy, it was deemed spiritually forbidden during specific seasons. Rituals became the ancient world's hard drives, preserving survival data across thousands of years without a single byte of digital storage. Third, convergent ingenuity. Separated by vast oceans, completely isolated civilizations surprisingly arrived at the exact same complex food preparation methods. Take a look at this. What do you think is the most ingenious food hack from the ancient world? Let me know in the comments below, because what we're looking at next completely altered human history. For centuries, modern society looked down on traditional cooking styles as primitive or superstitious. But today, nutritional science is realizing that ancient food preparation was actually high-level biochemistry disguised as tradition.
Consider the indigenous process of nixtamalization in ancient Mesoamerica.
For thousands of years, cultures soaked their corn in an alkaline solution made from water and wood ash or lime before grinding it into flour. They didn't know what a vitamin was, they just knew this is how you make tortillas. When European colonizers saw corn, they brought the crop back to Europe but ignored the primitive ash-soaking ritual. The result? Mass outbreaks of a horrific, fatal disease called pellagra swept across Europe and the American South. Why? Because corn naturally locks away its vitamin B3, or niacin. If you just grind and eat it, your body can't absorb it. The ancient traditional ash-soaking method was a sophisticated chemical process that altered the pH balance, releasing the bound niacin and making it fully bioavailable. The primitive ritual was actually a cure for a fatal deficiency disease that modern science took centuries to fully comprehend. We see this everywhere. The Indian tradition of pairing rice and lentils creates a complete protein profile with all essential amino acids, matching the quality of meat. Or the use of turmeric and black pepper together, a staple in ancient Ayurveda. Modern pharmacology has proven that curcumin is its own, but piperine, found in black pepper, enhances curcumin absorption by an astonishing 2,000%. Our ancestors didn't have clinical trials. Their trial was time itself. Their sample size was hundreds of generations. As we navigate an era of ultra-processed foods, crash diets, and conflicting internet advice, we cannot afford to ignore the deep spatial wisdom of the ancient world. Traditional food systems weren't random. They were a deeply integrated systems-level understanding of biodiversity and human metabolism. We don't need to reject modern science. Instead, we need to use modern science to validate and unlock the profound truths hidden inside ancient traditions. The next time you eat a traditional home-cooked meal, remember, you aren't just eating food, you are consuming a living, breathing map of human survival that survived thousands of years of silence, distance, and time just to reach your plate. If this deep dive changed the way you look at your kitchen, please share this video with a friend who loves history or health. Drop a comment below with a traditional food combination from your culture that you think is secretly a scientific masterpiece. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden blueprints of our world. Until next time, stay curious.